So if we gatekeep the advancement or development here, and we have treaties with many other countries, but say, for example, Russia and China, or Russia or China, don't participate in the treaty, wouldn't we find ourselves in a situation where our adversaries are proceeding with development in an AI arms race while we just watch and hope that things don't get out of hand?
In one of his first speeches after becoming Minister of AI, Mr. Solomon said Canada, quote, would move away from over-indexing on warnings and regulation, end quote, to make sure that the economy benefits from AI. Could I get your reaction to that approach?
This guy's garage. Like and subscribe.
I want to welcome everyone to meeting number 20 of the House of Commons Standing Committee on Access to Information, Privacy, and Ethics.
Right now, multiple AI companies are pouring billions, hundreds of billions of dollars into developing superintelligent AI as quickly as possible, despite experts' warning of the risks. This haste is, in my opinion, directly tied to an attempt to outrun legislation, to complete their project before the wider public and government wake up to these completely unconscionable risks that the unconsenting public is being exposed to by private, oversightless, and reckless actors. Recently, AI companies have been racing to automate AI research itself, allowing AIs to build even better AIs by themselves in order to reach superintelligence more quickly. This process is called recursive self-improvement, meaning that the moment an AI is built that is good enough to make better AIs, it might already be too late.
Based on your experience with malicious AI uses such as deepfakes, cyber attacks, and autonomous exploitation tools, what safeguards or regulatory measures should we be examining to protect Canadians? And what examples can you point to of where those are successfully being implemented, either at a corporate level, a national or subnational level? And I'll give both gentlemen a crack at the question if they'd like.
Cool. I will start then. I think there are basically two separate categories of risks. I think there are the risks that come from superintelligence and more generally from systems that cannot be controlled. For these risks, I recommend basically regulating the development of such systems. The problem of such systems is that once they're developed, we cannot control them. We cannot put the genie back into the bottle. So this is one type of regulation that is quite important. This is why we put a strong emphasis on international agreements and this type of regulation. The other one is for the, let's say, more prosaic risks of current systems. Future systems are not yet super intelligent, which means that if there is a problem, we can put the genie back into the bottle. Here, it's more at the application level. And when I say the application level, I mean more on the AI companies. You want to regulate the bottlenecks. And so here it will be, I think, beneficial to put stringent regulations on the dangerous aspects of AI and putting strong liability regimes such that if the systems that they build, are used for nefarious purposes, they are also liable for it. So I would separate those two. One, the development part of regulation for super intelligent AI, and the other one, the applications for current systems and near future systems.
Just to pick up on where my colleague just spoke, I think it's very important that there is a play that is very, very often attempted by these actors where they attempt to blame the users for misuse of their tools at every possible opportunity. In general liability law, the best practice is to put liability on the part of the supply chain that is best suited to addressing the harm. Obviously, the part that is best suited to addressing the harm are these massive corporations with the best technical talent in the world, massive platform leverage, and so on, rather than on the user. So I think I would push against a user liability as the way to address these risks and much more on developer or deployer liability.
To follow up on the point with respect to regulation of development, So if we gatekeep the advancement or development here, and we have treaties with many other countries, but say, for example, Russia and China, or Russia or China, don't participate in the treaty, wouldn't we find ourselves in a situation where our adversaries are proceeding with development in an AI arms race while we just watch and hope that things don't get out of hand when, based on the context that you provided in your opening statements, we know that it almost certainly will, but we may not have developed tools that would allow us to defend against it, because would I be correct in saying that we can also use models to defend us against rogue states, or rogue states and the models that they would develop and deploy to our detriment?
So there are basically two regimes. There's the superintelligent regime, and there's before that. In the superintelligent regime, everyone loses. If Russia builds superintelligence AI systems, everyone loses. They cannot control it. Same thing for China, same thing for the US, same thing for any country. So this is in the superintelligent regime. It's only the superintelligent AI systems that basically have any agency left. Then there's the pre-superintelligent regime, where there is an actual race. Because until superintelligence, when you can still steer your systems, you stand to gain a lot of benefits from developing stronger systems. This is why international agreements are important. And indeed, if we fail to build those international agreements and to reach those international agreements, things go bad. The same is true for biotechnology. The same is true for any type of dangerous weapons, for nuclear weapons, and so on and so forth. This is why we believe that such international agreements are critical. Okay. Else you get into the regime where you get to the superintelligent regime and things go bad.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for your response, Mr. Barrett.
And I'm curious if you have any guidance for us in terms of thinking of the either the cybersecurity reaction or protocols we should put in place to protect our critical infrastructure and systems, or any other counter protocols you might suggest we look at as a government.
I would need a rather quick response to the question, please.
I tend to think that countries should now seriously think about national firewalls to prevent outside actions. I think there has been a lot of taboo about them in the past, and I think that if a country is to ensure its cyber security and its security in its cyber sphere, it should strongly consider this in general. That's my personal opinion, not that of Control AI, but to your question, I think it's the most direct one.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Church. Mr. Leahy and Mr. Alfour, I want to thank you for appearing before the committee this morning. We are going to suspend. Mr. Mantle, 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to our witnesses for appearing and providing their valuable testimony. Picking up on the comment from my bloc colleague about the protection of people, I want to focus in on priorities for a moment, and the government's current priorities with respect to artificial intelligence. You may be aware that the government is currently reviewing its AI strategy, but the existing AI strategy, the Pan-Canadian Artificial Intelligence Strategy, lists 3 priorities. The first priority is commercialization, so making money off AI. The second is standards or protections in that area. And the third is talent and research. Do you think that those priorities are in the proper order?
I think it wouldn't be a surprise that we would disagree, that these are the most important priorities. While, of course, again, I think both of us are technologists by background. We love technology. We got into this to do technology to make the world a better place. This technology is dual use. It is power, and it is very important to use it correctly when we're dealing with unprecedented technologies of this kind of power. So to get a good outcome, I think the most important thing is to get this right, to not repeat the mistakes of social media, to not let technology exist for technology's sake, but for technology to exist to benefit people. And this is not what technology will do by default. We have to make it do that. So we think this should likely be the top priority, and in sense of most acute risk, we believe superintelligence to be the most pressing, personally.
I would tend to agree and may add something. I think it was in July of this year that YouTube Shorts reached 200 billion views per day. And there was an entire article from YouTube about this that was extremely happy about the fact that it got 200 billion views per day. We think that a lot of people building AI systems are in this paradigm. We know many technical employees at those AI companies, and it's just extremely fun to watch loss go down and results on benchmarks getting higher. It's good in itself to just get more technology, to just get more. It's fun, it's great to see, and you don't need to think much. So I will echo what Connor said, and I do believe that it should be the biggest priority when developing technology to ensure that it benefits people, humanity, and
So if I'm understanding your testimony, you would suggest that the priorities should be reversed and that standards and that sort of protection should come before commercialization in the government strategy. Is that correct?
I think that benefiting humanity can be done through many ways. So in the context of superintelligence, we believe that it's through regulation and protection, but for other things, it's by using the technology in good ways and using it in a way that benefits people. Personally, I'm quite hopeful about AI in the context of education. I think different people have different priorities, but if one tries to use AI for good, I believe a lot can be done with it. It's a very powerful technology.
Great. Canada has just recently, in this government, created a new minister position, Minister of AI. And in one of his first speeches after becoming Minister of AI, Mr. Solomon said Canada, quote, would move away from over-indexing on warnings and regulation, end quote, to make sure that the economy benefits from AI. Could I get your reaction to that approach?
My general opinion is that yes, I think you can get a lot of economic benefit by neglecting human flourishing. This is something that we've seen historically many times. There are many ways to pump a stock market at the expense of people. For example, deregulating Ponzi schemes is very profitable in the short term, and then eventually the bill comes. I think we're seeing a similar thing here, is building a long-term responsible stewardship of building a good society and that uses technology effectively. Again, I think that benefiting mankind also means using AI, but using it correctly and for the benefit of mankind. And this is harder and in the short term less profitable.